What's up guys, so today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my 2011 Honda Civic Si, and as you guys see, my car is on bags and I've done a bunch of stuff to it, but today we are going to do an oil change. So this video is basically going to be a video on the 06 to 2011 Honda Civics oil change and the Si. So this is going to be a video for all of those years. So this is gonna be like a step-by-step video. If it's cold outside and your car has not moved all day, I would definitely recommend you start the car up, leave the car run for a little bit so the oil can go through the car and the oil can warm up, be warm, and it can flow out of the engine when you take the drain bolt off of the oil pan. So definitely warm the car up a bit and do that. I already did that, backed my car out. I left the car run for a little bit, like 5 to 10 minutes, leave the car run, and that's it. So I'm going to show you what you need to drain your oil right here. So what you need is a jack, 2 jack stands, have like a toolbox toolkit with a bunch of sockets. Of course, you need 5 quarts. If you have an Si, you will run basically Honda genuine oil, full synthetic 5W30 for gasoline engines, certified. And you got, of course, your crush washer for the drain plug, and you also have your oil filter right here. So of course this is most important for your oil change. I know it depends on what oil you want to run, as long as it's the correct oil for your car. Mine says 5W30. I have been running usually the Honda genuine oil for my car, and it's been working for me. I have no complaints, no problems, everything is good. So then you got like a little mat to lay on, this to take off the passenger side tire in the front to get to the oil filter, your lock nuts, pan to drain the oil in, and that's about it. That's everything that you guys need. So it is definitely important to make sure that your car is in first gear and the emergency brake is up so the car does not roll when you jack it up. So first gear, emergency brake all the way up. Also, when you're doing this at home and you're jacking up the front, make sure you put a brick behind the rear tires. Make sure you put a brick behind the rear tires so the car doesn't roll on both sides. I'm gonna pop the hood. Another way to check to see what kind of oil you run, it will say right here by the oil cap, it will say the SIs take 5W30 for the 06 through 2011 SIs. So the SI takes 4.6 quarts, but it's recommended to just get 5 quarts, because by the time you turn on the engine and the oil goes around to the oil filter, it's going to be around exactly basically 5 quarts. So my car isn't that crazy low, but I'm still gonna air the car all the way up and then jack the car up. So the first thing we're gonna do is loosen up the lugs on the passenger side front wheel. Get your wheel lock. So make sure the car's still on the ground when you loosen up the wheel lock and the rest of the nuts. So take off your wheel locks. You gotta go counterclockwise. So just turn them a little bit. So I usually jack the car up right here on this support beam right here in the middle, and I'm going to put the jack stands right on top of there, so on each side of those brackets so it can sit on. Also, make sure you take your time lowering it and make sure it sits properly on top of those brackets. So it should look something like this, and sit on top of the bracket just like that. Next, we're gonna go ahead and take off the passenger wheel in the front. So all the wheel locks are off. If you guys are having trouble pulling the wheel off, sometimes you might have to hit it on the side of it to break it from whatever corrosion is stuck to it. So usually it should just come off just like that, and you just pick it up, and that's it. Wheel on the side. So after you take your wheel off, you'll be able to see your oil filter right there. So it's kind of like in a tight spot, but it's really not. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but not really at all. So let's get to it. So we're gonna grab our pan to drain the oil in. You kind of gotta angle it because a lot of the oil is gonna flow out real quick. And the drain plug is right here, right there. That's where the drain plug is, and it says engine oil right there, so it's labeled. So you're gonna need your ratchet, and you're going to need a size 17, as you guys can see right there. There we go. So it's counterclockwise to take the drain board. Perfect. So perfect landing, guys. If you gotta move it up some. I'm gonna leave it go for a little bit more. And here's the oil filter. Inside of the oil filter, there's usually a crush washer. It's recommended that when you put the drain bowl back in, that you change crush washer from it leaking, because basically what it does is the washer basically crushes against the oil pan, so it gets a good solid seal, so it doesn't leak. Highly recommend every time you change your oil filter or change your oil, change the crush washer. So as you guys can see, here's the old one. The old one just comes off just like that, and put the new one on. Pretty simple. And the new one is on, so pretty simple. So you basically want to put that back on, clean it off a bit, and tighten it up. And now you're going to go clockwise and tighten her up. Of course, you don't want to over tighten also, so make sure it's tight enough, and that's it. So what I'm doing is using my right hand, because my right hand is a bit stronger, and I'm turning it. So I did move this back over some. Of course, I still made a little bit of mess because I didn't know which way to move it. Yep. So this part is a bit messy. I forgot to tell you guys, I did move it back over some, so got the oil filter out. So here's the new oil filter right here. So what are you gonna basically do is get some oil and lube up around this rim. Oh. So after you get your hand between here, you gotta like twist it. And I'm taking my hand with the oil filter. So the bottom of the oil filter is going to be facing you guys, and the filter that needs to screw in is going to be this way. So I'm taking the oil filter, I'm grabbing it, and I'm sliding my hand in here, right, to like about right here in this corner. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like a little corner. We see where the edge, where the blue is that I'm pointing at. As you guys can see, that little corner. So what I did was take my hand, put it around there to get my hand right here, and then I stick my other hand at the bottom to hold the filter up. So I used my other hand and I took my hand, right, and then I got in my hand back so I could put my hand upside down and grab the filter, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So I use my other hand to hold the filter up, hitting this wall right here. So I'm using this hand that's moving to hold the filter up against this blue wall right here, and I just let it sit there. So then I put my hand and go upside down. So I'm gonna catch the bottom of the oil. I'm gonna go the opposite way and catch the oil filter, and then it's easier way to screw it in there and feed it in. So that's my way of putting it in. Also, you guys want to make sure the oil filter is on there pretty snug, because when you turn on the car, there's going to be a lot of pressure, and you guys do not want the oil filter to start leaking oil. That's very bad and it's a pain. So you guys do not want the oil filter leaking oil. So make sure it's on there tight and has a good tight fit to it. So, and clean up whatever little oil you guys have left to make sure if when you turn the car on, you're able to check for leaks, etc., etc. Also, guys, get you some brake cleaner to get rid of any kind of oil or residue that needs to be cleaned off. All right, so now we're going to take the oil cap off. You go counterclockwise, and there you go. So make sure you don't lose the seal right here. This seal goes around the oil cap, so make sure it's in there good. So don't lose the seal right here. Make sure that seal is in there. Make sure it doesn't come out. Every time I put oil in, if the car needs some more oil, I make sure I clean around the rim, because usually around it is like rocks and debris that gets around it. So I try to clean it as much. Clean it before I pour any kind of oil in there. So important. And then you could just pour the oil in, or if you have a funnel of some kind, I have this, it's pretty clean. You could use like a funnel or something and pour your oil in that way. So got my oil right here, 5W30 full synthetic Honda genuine oil. Looks like that, pretty dope. So 1 quart down. Quart number 2. Quart number 3. Quart number 4. And quart number 5, the last quart. Alright, so the last quart should be done. And go clockwise. And that's it. So now we're gonna go inside the car and reset the oil life and start the car up and check for leaks. All right, so I'm back inside the car. I'm gonna turn the key to the on position, right? And then we're going to get to the oil life. And to get to the oil life, you just hit the select reset button. And then what you're gonna do now is hold down on the button until it starts blinking. And then it's gonna start blinking. Then you hold it back down again. and then that's it. And you successfully reset the oil life. So that's it right there. So what we're gonna do now is start the car up, put it in neutral, and leave the car run for a second. There might be a little bit of smoke from the oil sitting on the engine, but after a while that should go away. So as you guys can see, the oil is all the way up there and everything is good to. All right guys, I'm gonna air out one time for you guys. So just double tap. All right guys, as you guys can see, the oil change is done. The car is aired out right now, looking nice. So I'm gonna share with you guys how much it costs to change your oil. So 5 quarts, a filter, and a crush washer. It came out to, and I got these from Honda, it came out to basically, so $42.26. And this is all the stuff right here, the part numbers and stuff, as you guys can see. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is my first time changing my own oil. If I can do it, you guys can do it. And I'm not joking, this is the first time I change the oil on this car by myself. First time. If I can do it guys, you can do it too. So if you guys like this video, definitely smash the like button. And also, if there's anything that you want, if you have a goal in mind or something that you're trying to achieve, find your inner drive, the thing that drives you to take a step forward every single day and go after it every single day and make it happen. Peace guys. Shout out to the Evil Street Strike fam. Definitely smash the subscribe button on the left here, and also hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. Click the link right here below of the latest video that's out right now.